Okay, so I get tons of phone calls and stuff, and usually things interrupt me, which is why you don't see me do online missions much. So fuel states and everything, buttons, radios, they're all going to be different from part 1 because I've run up this far, thus far. So I've saved you a decently boring plane trip. We've armed our 83 LGs, we've gone to 1688. Now we've made sure that the FLIR, the LTDR and the LST NFLR are all on. What else have we done? We checked AWACS, picture was clear, so we're not going to run into any bandits. And now we're just running in. I've selected FLIR off of here. And I've gone to waypoint 4. And I've hit cage. Oh, I've also set this as the sensor of interest. Those of you who have been with me from the beginning will now realise, obviously after all the years that you've been flying, that a sensor point of interest and a sensor of interest are the most important parts of the systems of combat aircraft, I think. Especially in a ground attack role. Because there's a lot of terms that you'll end up having to use and learn, like, you know, slave and spy and soy and all those fancy things. So we're currently at a barometric hold, which you can probably figure out from the fact that I've got the colon there, semicolon. Now, what we're going to do with the runway, obviously you're going to increase your chances of hitting the runway if you line up with the runway. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to follow this as close as we can to spread ourselves over the runway. The lower you are, the less chance you are to be accurate when it comes to laser guided weapons. One of the reasons being is they have travel, they have the inertia from the plane, so you want to be high, increase your chances of the bomb seeing the laser and correcting themselves accordingly. They only correct themselves twice, from my understanding. I don't know what this weapon system does, but usually when you're dropping laser guided munitions in the A10, I do believe the majority of them only correct themselves twice. So what we're going to do now, I've, as I said, armed these three here, the LST, the FLIR, the LTD. That gives us a little trigger button here when you arm this one. So if we put that to safe, there's no trigger function. We put that onto arm, you get yourselves a trigger function. And that means that the trigger will fire the laser. Alright, so now I think you're all up to speed with where I'm at. I have actually changed the program for the flares. So we're doing 2 chaff, 2 flare at an interval of 7.75 seconds 3 times, which is the way that I enjoy using it. It's gotten me out of trouble a few times. Most of the button beeps and squeals and all that we hear is mostly friendlies. Now, one of the problems I have here is I don't know which airfield it is. It could be the International. It might not be. It could be that one over there. I reckon it's that one over there. Because there's another one over here somewhere. But I reckon it's that one. Just according to measuring it with my eyes. That's how we're doing that. So when I started this one up, I gave it a real quick start, which cuts out even more of what I did before. And I still do like the wing tests and aileron tests and stuff, and the FCS test. But this jerk over here still managed to get out in front of me. But the air-to-air refueling was pretty good. It was in a turn, and I actually stayed with it for quite a decent amount of time. Alright, autopilot off, running in. Yeah, in from the north. And obviously the higher we are, the better, so I'm not too fussed as long as I'm not going down. Start rolling out. I'm going to increase my chances though by lining up with the runway a lot better. Let's see, start firing the laser. Put that on the trigger. There we go, LTDR. I do believe that means it's firing. We've got the 83s ready to go. Gonna line up on that as best we can. Firing our laser. 4K's out, or 4 seconds to target, or is that nautical miles? I don't know. Let's just drop them. Alright, barometric hold, see what happens. Rounds on target. Now, a good thing to do would be to place one at, you know, kind of either end to make it more difficult to take, you know, like screw up more of the runway. That's how I would do it, but, you know, at least we got rounds on target, and we're going to start heading home. So let's kind of line up to around about where we would be, which is in between the, well, the way I want to go back is kind of in between the carrier and the waypoint we came in on. So that would probably be waypoint 2. Yeah, look at that. It's not bad. Set light box, look at that. Not far off. Alright, so that is part 2, and I'll see you in part 3 for the landing, because I'm going to save you this long trip with my ramblings, especially after having to do a bit of running around and whatnot. But thanks for watching.